Hey guys, Wiz here. Welcome back to another video, and today I want to do one of these commentaries with pre-recorded gameplay because I want to just dive really deep into the subject and kind of make a video similar to the one I did on why Sledgehammer Games is actually a good COD studio. So this is one of those videos where I just want to dive into a bit more serious stuff, and yeah, so I'm going to talk about why COD is broken and seems doomed, and then my opinions on how this franchise could be saved or the games could be fixed. Now, before we get into it, I appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe if you do enjoy this video and do want to see more of my content. Comment down below if there's something you want to say, you want to give this video engagement, or you want to give me feedback to become a better YouTuber. And Discord servers in the description if you want to talk to me, my friends, or any other community members. And yeah, let's get into it. So, if we're going to understand how to fix Call of Duty, we're first going to have to dive into the problems of the game. So I'm not going to go into depth with all these problems, for example skill-based matchmaking, because if you want to actually dive deep into it, it's a rabbit hole and you go make over an hour-long video on it. So if you do want to really look into this for yourself, you can search up dedicated videos on these topics here. But yeah, the first problem I want to talk about, skill-based matchmaking. The quick rundown of it is that already in a game like Call of Duty, where back when people loved the game, enjoyed the game, and loved playing it, there's no skill-based matchmaking. People had a blast because they had a motivation to get better. The thing is, with skill-based matchmaking, that would already be bad for the game, but it's even worse because it's actually engagement optimized matchmaking. And what this means is that based on user experience and all that whatnot, it manipulates the matchmaking in order to cherry pick games for you. It'll keep throwing you into lobbies where you get demolished, destroyed, absolutely dogged on, and then because if that's your only experience, you're gonna leave. It'll throw you a game where you're doing good, and then the other people in the lobby that you're destroying is what you would be. So when you're in the hard lobbies, you're in the lobbies where people get an easy game. So then you play again after that game, just searching for that same kind of game again where you do well, you enjoy yourself, making you want to buy microtransactions and enjoy the game. And there's even patents on this with Activision. This also goes into the greed thing I'll talk about later. But there's patents, they've been proven. You could look up Activision SBMM patents if you want, or something along those lines on Google. You'll find multiple sites that have these skill-based matchmaking patents. The short rundown of it is that if somebody buys a bundle, they'll be put into easier lobbies. So for example, you being the noob in that lobby, you'd see the sweaty, actually good player wearing the skin that they bought at the store, making you want to buy that same bundle or a different one for the store, throwing you into the easier lobbies. So it's rinse, wash, repeat, but with a bunch of different players making them buy microtransactions. So I guess now that I'm getting to that, you might as well bring greed up right now. The thing is with these games, they're no longer thought of as a game when they're being made by Activision, and nowadays they're considered as products that what will make them the most money, and that even goes at the expense of treating the hardcore player base with crap like things with skill-based matchmaking and appeasing the casuals, adding a bunch of political stuff to the game that makes the mainstream happy. That's what's happening with most of these money-hungry companies nowadays, even though their entire goals for entertainment, like Activision, like Disney, they're supposed to make movies and video games are fun, but they incorporate all this crap for guess what? Money. They don't care about making a good product anymore. Next thing is aim assist. So I've honestly not complained about aim assist too much, but you can find videos by people like the Exclusive Ace, Drifter. I'm pretty sure JGod also did videos on this, proving how powerful the aim assist is on controller. Because this also goes into the money thing. Everything goes into the money nowadays. The average player that makes them the most money is most likely going to play on a console with a controller, because that's more accessible than a $1,000 gaming PC with next gen graphics cards, all this whatnot. So since the majority of the player base is on a controller, they bump up the aim assist so much a controller to the point where it basically aims for them. It's like an auto aim up, just a bot, making it so mouse and keyboard players like me, we can compete, but we're just working so much harder for it when people who are abusing the aim assist, or not even abusing it, just like using it for what it's intended, it just to just destroy us, not making it the gunfights not that hard for them, making the game feel good. So again, they'll keep playing to buy bundles. Next thing is lack of care. There's still dev studios who care like Treyarch and Sledgehammer, so I'm mostly talking about Infinity Ward here. But there's such a lack of care put into the games, like ignoring community feedback, taking weeks or months, or maybe they won't even patch a bug at all, whether it's just a dumb little thing or if it's actually straight up game breaking. You can even see with the guns, like, they just don't have as much personality to them, and you might like have a preference. Like, I'll be honest, the SPX-80 is a gun made in 2022 in games that nobody cared for. Yet I think it's a fun gun to use, but lack of care in the maps, they suck. Lack of care in the guns, they are just not as memorable. And only good maps we usually get nowadays are just remasters from when the games were actually good. Sometimes, if we're lucky, we will actually get good original maps. Now the next thing is stubbornness, and I guess this also goes into community feedback. And if you guys also looked into this, there's a Bloomberg article talking about how Sledgehammer Games making Modern Warfare 3 has such a small time constraint. They had to fly everything by Infinity Ward executives. So basically the entire game, even though it was made by Sledgehammer, it was basically made by Infinity Ward and Activision, forcing Sledgehammer to like be like, yo, you like this? Yeah, they're just incredibly stubborn, and that's pretty much all the problems I can think of off the top of my head. And some of the biggest problems, you could probably look into Call of Duty controversies and look into why Call of Duty has no soul nowadays, and probably find a lot more reasons why modern COD is just bad. I also forgot about mentioning just rush cycles, like how I'm pretty sure Call of Duty Vanguard was made in 9 or 8 months. Modern Warfare 3 was made in 13 months, I think. Just a bit under a year. The devs nowadays just don't get enough time to make games because they need to meet that yearly release with Call of Duty, that you just don't have that much time now to actually make a genuinely good game. That's all the problems with modern Call of Duty. Now, my thoughts on how to fix that. So the first thing was skill-based matchmaking. I feel like what they can do is just tone it down a ton or just remove it entirely. Now, back in the day with Call of Duty, it didn't have skill-based matchmaking, but people just wanted to play, they wanted to get better, they wanted to improve because they were getting destroyed, but they actually enjoyed how the game played. So they loved the game enough to put enough time to it, to the point that they were the one destroying people. They were destroying the noobs that were inspired to go do the exact same thing, rinse, wash, repeat, but it grows the game. It makes people actually enjoy it. So there's claims from one developer that skill-based matchmaking's always been in COD, but it's apparently been proven that it haven't, and if it has been, it's been incredibly small. So rather remove it or just make it incredibly small. And I guess I don't mean remove it entirely, because there's still like the people with disabilities who play the game. Like, if somebody with a crippled hand shouldn't be fighting against Optic in a $1 billion tournament, even though it's just like public match. Like, that's just ridiculous. Like, just let them find playing their own bracket so they can actually enjoy themselves, because they will never get as good as like players with full capability and all that whatnot. So that's how you could fix SPMM. Now, aim assist. Simply, just like SPMM, just nerf it. Like, it should still be on controller, because controller's a lot harder to use than mouse and keyboard. Like, you aim with one finger on controller with a wonky joystick. Mouse and keyboard, you get to aim with your entire arm. It's super precise, and you have all these buttons to like map everything to. If controllers didn't have aim assist, it'd make them a whole lot harder to use. So there should still be some there to help controller players out, because then they'd just straight up be at a disadvantage. But not crank it so high where you have a literally 0 millisecond reaction time, because your gun's basically being controlled by an AI to that point. So that's why I feel like they should do a thing with this. And lack of care, just fire all these people who want to put in a political agenda, fire all these people who don't even like Call of Duty, fire all these people who just don't care about it. Like, I forget his name again. The guy who made Star Wars The Last Jedi, they straight up hired a dude to direct it. And he doesn't even care about Star Wars, and now saw one of the worst Star Wars movies of all time. Like, there's evidence that, like, you should have people who actually care about what they're doing to make something. Like, let's take a person who hates guns entirely, they just hate video games. Like, why should you let them make a first-person shooter game? Just don't even fire them. You can't fire them if you don't hire them in the first place. But the ones who are already hired, just fire them all. If they just way down the game, they're like, there's too many cooks in the kitchen, and it's cooks who don't even enjoy cooking. Just get rid of them. They don't belong here. And Dallas goes for stubbornness. With greed, with the same thing, not have the main focus be money. Just have a company that actually is passionate about their product and think of what it actually is, and think, hey, is this what a player would enjoy? And if it is, you can put that in. If it slows down the game, makes it so people come back artificially with dumb crap, then just remove that. Like, nobody wants that. And then with the big problem, the yearly release cycle, the devs just don't get enough time to make their games. And now with Call of Duty just being all about money, they've branched out too much. It used to just be multiplayer campaign, those multiplayer campaign zombies, or Spec Ops instead of zombies. Like, that's a fair balance. You don't have too many modes, not much stuff to focus on, so you can focus more on one thing. But now we have DMZ, Warzone, multiplayer campaign, Spec Ops, and there's just so much stuff nowadays that the devs have to focus on in such a small amount of time. Like, personally, what I would think, if like everybody objectively just agree, it's just an objective thing at this point. Everybody agrees that Infinity Ward just sucks at making games. They just make campy games for new players to just be holding your hand the entire time you play, when the pro players, like the people who are actually good, want to take their time to get good at the game, are just getting destroyed by skill-based matchmaking. Like, Infinity Ward is guilty for almost everything bad with COD nowadays. So just get rid of them, except not entirely, because if you guys didn't know, Infinity Ward did make DMZ, and they actually somehow made a good mode. And now, because DMZ didn't perform well, it just got left in the dust by Activision entirely, because, well, their main goal is money. So, what I think they should do is just make Infinity Ward just stop making Call of Duty, just main Call of Duty titles entirely, and just let them keep working on DMZ, just because, like, I feel like they shouldn't have made DMZ in the first place. I mean, it was a good mode, but as I said, just too many eggs in one basket, too many cooks in the kitchen. So, but since this is there now, like, you can't just get rid of it. It's a perfectly good egg. Like, why just waste it now that you've bought it? Like, there's already a whole community dedicated to DMZ, and now they're just left in the dust. Like, I feel like put Infinity Ward back to make DMZ, and then people want to, like, actually have more time with the game, so the bundles they buy, they matter for 2 years if they just keep moving on to the next COD, the next COD, the next, and just let them have more time to just enjoy the game. So since now there's one dev studio away, that would take out a year in the annual release, so we'd only get a game every 2 years. Treyarch and Sledgehammer actually still seem to care about making games. They're just being treated awfully. So just skip a year when Treyarch releases their new game. Just skip a year. Just let Treyarch keep updating that game, so Sledgehammer has enough time to actually make a genuinely good game that will last for 2 years, just like the original Treyarch game. Since now Infinity Ward's out of the kitchen, like, we need some way to take over the Modern Warfare franchise. So let Treyarch keep making Black Ops games, and let Sledgehammer take over Modern Warfare, while still not just repeating the same franchises over and over. Let them make new creative games, like let Sledgehammer make Advanced Warfare 2, or start entirely a new sub-franchise within COD. Maybe let Treyarch branch off from Black Ops, like they made World at War. That was a Black Ops game. it was genuinely a good game, and it'll keep the settings fresh instead of going between the 1980s modern, the 1980s modern. Unless the Black Ops games go to the future, like then that's the only thing changing. Like, let them branch off and just make different games, and let them just make games and entirely give them enough time because they actually care and they could make a good product. And just listen to the community, because if we have good studios who actually care about the game, they have enough time to make it, it'll stay around for a while, and you listen to the community, you could have a really good game on your hands. You could have the Call of Duty Golden Age 2.0. Like, why not just do that? Also with Greed, like, bundles are here now, they're just so obscenely expensive. Like $30 for one skin, 2 guns, then a couple stickers that nobody will ever use. Like, just, you could keep bundles in there, but just make them a lot cheaper, not shoving everybody else's face when they boot up the game like, yo, look at this new cool bundle, buy it now, because it's all the game matters for now. Oh yeah, and same thing, like, I don't like Warzone personally, but people enjoy it, so let Raven keep making Warzone, let him focus on it, and let DMZ have its own identity, let Warzone have its own identity, and let whatever Treyarch and Sledgehammer make have their own identity. Like, everything just feels the same now. Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 just feel exactly the same, except for Modern Warfare 3 slightly better. Warzone is like all the Modern Warfare 3 mechanics with all the Modern Warfare 2 guns as well mixed in there. Like, everything just feels the same and bland. Nothing feels unique anymore. So yeah, personally, that's what I think Call of Duty can do to actually save itself. I doubt they will do it, but this is just what the best hope is, I think. The best course of action. Just the dream. Not a realistic dream, just the dream. And yeah, that's all I really want to talk about. Sorry I wasn't organized. I just hate making scripts. Like, I'd rather just like spit it out raw and stuff. Like, I know, like, it would be a script like written by like my own thoughts, but I know I just prefer doing it raw like this. So sorry if I was very unorganized, but yeah, tell me what you guys think. Disagree or agree down in the comments if you want to. Hope you enjoyed. Even just like if you like didn't like the video, you didn't agree with me, but just keep it civil, enjoy yourselves, and yeah, that's about it. It's been More the Guys. Peace.